Hi, everyone. We are HackTheHaze. We're a team of computer science students from Trinity College Dublin. I'll pass you on to my colleague, Fionn, who will introduce you to the problem.
So one of the most striking things that struck us when we were looking at this data was that there's a lot of air pollution in Dublin that pedestrians walking around the city simply don't know about. And the problem we identified is that these so many pollutants have adverse effects on public health, they increase mortality, and that there's a lot of vulnerable people in Dublin who would be affected by these pollutants. We wanted to identify a sort of general solution, but that would also work at the local level. So I'd like to ask you to spot the difference between these two pictures I'm about to put up. So this one's a Google Maps route, 31 minutes, nothing special. And then we see this next one, it's 36 minutes. Most obvious difference, obviously the second path seems to take a little longer. But there's actually a little hidden difference in there, and that is the air quality of the two paths. If we look at the second path, we can see there's actually a big difference in the air quality, so much so that there's a 60% reduction in the average NO2 intake for only 5 minutes of extra time. So this is our solution to our little problem, which is alternate routing. You could look at Google Maps and add a little extra feature that allows you to take air quality into account when you're choosing a route to go to. Pedestrians often are most interested in the shortest path to any destination. But what if more health-conscious pedestrians had the option to include this sort of data to make a more informed decision as to what one they want to take, and then allow people who maybe wouldn't otherwise think about this to take it into account when they're planning their routes? This is a little proof of concept of how it might work. You have a green path with a little heart indicating that there's better air quality along this one. There's no place for complacency when it comes to air quality. We can see that the mortality rates for circulatory and respiratory illnesses, they've had an overall varying downward trend, but we know that if we implement something like this, we can really impact it and drive those trends right down.
Our solution is easily integratable and scalable. First of all, as you saw earlier, it can be easily added as a little extra add-on to something like Google Maps with the green heart. Also, it's scalable. The more granular data we have, the better predictions we can make with these models regarding the shortest path and the cleanest path between 2 points. It is particularly useful for vulnerable people, such as people with asthma or other respiratory illnesses. And it's integratable with multivariate data sources, such as public health data, census data. What data sets did we use? In addition to the Project AirView data sets, we also used the CSO data on the mortality rate on respiratory, as you saw earlier. And finally, what are the next steps that we can take? Well, first of all, we can do more research into the actual optimization algorithms that we use. We can incorporate more granular data, as you saw earlier. We can also incorporate live data, such as construction sites or meteorological data, to improve the accuracy of our predictions. And once the full 2022 open census data rolls around later on this year, we can incorporate that data as well to better quantify the benefits that our model can bring. That's about it. Thank you very much.